Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
On the back of the New Year's Revolution edition of SmackDown, where Nick Aldis made a surprising decision involving Roman Reigns, Raw General Manager Adam Pearce has stepped into the limelight with a message. During the triple threat match on SmackDown, pitting AJ Styles, Randy Orton, and LA Knight against each other to determine Roman Reigns' opponent for the Royal Rumble, chaos ensued when Reigns interfered. In response, Nick Aldis took matters into his own hands, penalizing the tribal chief and altering the course of the title picture. Aldis, the 37-year-old English professional wrestler, revealed to Roman Reigns' confidant, Paul Heyman, that the undisputed WWE Universal Championship would now be defended in a fatal four-way match at the upcoming Premium Live event. This unexpected twist added a new layer of excitement to the highly anticipated Royal Rumble. In the aftermath of this pivotal moment, another key figure in the WWE landscape, Adam Pearce, Raw's general manager, took to Twitter to address Nick Aldis directly. Pearce responded to the announcement of Aldis' appearance on WWE's The Bump, a popular talk show that delves into the latest happenings in the world of professional wrestling. "Kindly pass on my fond regards, if you please," wrote Adam Pearce in his tweet, sparking curiosity among fans about the potential implications of this interaction between the two wrestling personalities. The Blue brand was buzzing on Friday night, and the reverberations are still being felt across WWE. SmackDown, a show already packed with shocking returns and high-stakes confrontations, ended with an earth-shattering decision involving Roman Reigns. The tribal chief once again left his mark, but it wasn't just his words or his actions that stunned the WWE universe, it was the fallout. Backstage politics and authority figures rarely mix quietly in WWE, and this was no exception. Following Reigns' decision on SmackDown, Raw general manager Adam Pearce delivered a pointed message to his SmackDown counterpart, Nick Aldis. The exchange highlighted not only the growing friction between the two officials but also WWE's larger struggle to maintain order in a landscape dominated by megastars with agendas of their own. The night Roman Reigns took control. Roman Reigns didn't even have to wrestle on SmackDown to dominate the conversation. His presence alone was enough to dictate the narrative. For weeks, speculation had swirled about his next move after the bloodline appeared fractured and Solo Sikoa began asserting himself in ways that even the tribal chief hadn't anticipated. On SmackDown, Reigns silenced the doubters, at least temporarily. He took to the ring with Paul Heyman at his side, the wise man visibly anxious, and dropped a bombshell decision: he would not be competing at the upcoming Clash in Paris Premium Live event. Instead, he declared that the Bloodline's focus would shift toward eliminating the Pretenders and restoring the family's dominance through sheer intimidation. The live crowd booed, some even chanted for Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, hoping one of WWE's top babyfaces would step up to force Reigns' hand. But the tribal chief smirked, his silence louder than any words. With one choice, he derailed weeks of speculation and put both brands on notice. Adam Pearce reacts. For Adam Pearce, the Raw general manager, the announcement was more than just a storyline twist, it was a headache. Pearce has had his hands full dealing with the Judgment Day's power plays, Rhea Ripley's shocking returns, and CM Punk's volatile presence on Raw. But when Roman Reigns openly refused to participate in a major event that was expected to drain record international numbers, it sent shockwaves across both brands. Pearce didn't mince words in a backstage interview after SmackDown. Looking directly into the camera, he delivered a message clearly aimed at Nick Aldis. "I respect the challenges Nick is facing on SmackDown. But this is bigger than one brand. Roman Reigns deciding not to compete affects the entire company, and Nick has a responsibility to step in. If he won't, then I might." Those words weren't just a professional critique, they were a challenge. Pearce has long been portrayed as a neutral authority, someone who makes difficult decisions under pressure. But this time, his frustration bled through. His tone suggested that Aldis' handling of Reigns was not only ineffective but also disrespectful to the WWE Universe. Nick Aldis stands his ground. Nick Aldis, never one to back down from a confrontation, was quick to respond later in the night on WWE Digital Exclusive. Speaking with a calm but icy delivery, Aldis reminded Pearce, and by extension, the WWE Universe, that SmackDown is his domain. "With all due respect to Adam Pearce, I don't take orders from anyone, certainly not from someone running the Red brand. Roman Reigns is a SmackDown superstar, and what happens on my show will be decided by me. Not Pearce, not Triple H, not anyone else." Aldis's response underscored the tension brewing between WWE's two general managers. While Pearce sees himself as acting in the best interests of WWE as a whole, Aldis views the situation through the lens of brand pride. SmackDown, after all, has long branded itself as the A-show, and Aldis doesn't want interference from Raw tarnishing that reputation. What Roman's decision means for WWE. Roman Reigns refusing to compete in Paris is a calculated move. It keeps him physically fresh, preserves the mystique of his rare appearances, and places all attention back on the turmoil within the bloodline. But from a business perspective, it leaves WWE in a precarious spot. Fans who bought tickets expecting to see the undisputed champion now face disappointment. International markets, where WWE is aggressively expanding, could view it as a broken promise. Adam Pearce's frustration, then, isn't just storyline, it resonates with fans. Pearce represents accountability, and in voicing his displeasure with Aldis, he tapped into the growing sentiment that Roman Reigns, despite his accolades, cannot continue to dictate terms unchecked. The brewing GM rivalry. For months, fans have speculated whether WWE would eventually pull the trigger on an Adam Pearce vs. Nick Aldis power struggle. The seeds were planted at Survivor Series, where brand loyalty became a hot-button issue. Now, with Roman Reigns at the center of controversy, those seeds are sprouting into full-blown conflict. Pearce and Aldis bring contrasting leadership styles to WWE programming. Pearce is pragmatic, often caught juggling multiple crises at once, while Aldis exudes confidence and composure, unwilling to be seen as weak. Their personalities are destined to clash, and Roman Reigns' decision provided the perfect spark. Possible outcomes. With tensions escalating, the WWE Universe is already speculating about what comes next. Triple H steps in. If Pearce and Aldis cannot agree on how to handle Roman Reigns, WWE's chief content officer may intervene. That could lead to explosive on-screen confrontations, and potentially even Triple H forcing Reigns into a match despite his refusal. Cross-brand feud. Pearce could retaliate by sending a Raw superstar to SmackDown to confront Reigns directly, challenging Aldis's authority in the process. Imagine CM Punk or Seth Rollins appearing on SmackDown, not just to call out Roman but to undermine Aldis. Bloodline fallout. Reigns' decision may further embolden Solo Sikoa, who has been positioning himself as the enforcer of the family. If Solo sees his cousin as too cautious, it could accelerate the brewing internal feud within the bloodline. GM showdown at a PLE. WWE could even book Pearce and Aldis into a proxy war, each selecting a team of superstars to represent their brand, with Roman's participation hanging in the balance. Fan reactions. The WWE Universe wasted no time weighing in on social media. Many sided with Pearce, praising him for standing up against what they see as Roman's arrogance. Others applauded Aldis for protecting SmackDown's independence, warning Pearce not to overstep. One fan on Twitter wrote, "Finally, someone is calling out Aldis for letting Roman run wild. Pearce is the voice of the people." Another countered, "Nick Aldis doesn't need Adam Pearce lecturing him. SmackDown is fine without Raw sticking its nose where it doesn't belong." The split in opinion mirrors WWE's own storytelling, making the rivalry between the GMs even more compelling. Conclusion. What began as a routine SmackDown quickly escalated into one of the most talked about nights of the year. Roman Reigns, by refusing to compete at Clash in Paris, not only shifted the spotlight back onto the bloodline but also ignited a war of words between Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. As Pearce sends his message loud and clear, that Roman's actions cannot go unchecked, Aldis stands firm, determined to defend his authority on SmackDown. The result is a tense standoff between two WWE officials whose clash may ultimately shape the future of both brands. One thing is certain, Roman Reigns, even in absence, remains the most powerful man in WWE. And now, his decision has placed Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis on a collision course, with the WWE Universe eagerly awaiting who blinks first. Would you like me to expand this into a mock WWE storyline script, with promos, crowd reactions, and commentary lines, to make it feel like a real SmackDown/Raw segment?